Welcome to Talking Comics issue 36. We're back once again at Limited Edition Comics with a fabulous range.
Hi guys.
And we're here again with Rich, who I like to call the boss.
I'm not really.
Oh,
we've been through that before.
Yeah, we've been through it.
I'm the T-boy.
The T-boy.
And the coffee boy.
I've pulled out the T-boy.
Yeah.
Right? He just happens to own the shop.
Anyway. I'm the top man, but
you are.
I don't like big myself up.
No?
High pedestal? Nah.
You should.
No.
We've got Zach. Well, where does he come in the pedestal?
I would say we're all equal, but Zach's way down. So.
Zach the Hack, I heard you call him.
Is Zach the Hack? Yeah.
Well, you'll get to hear Zach the Hack once again next week. But we've got so much news for you this week. So, I suppose we should get on with the news.
Get on with it. Let's hurry up.
First of all, I had quite a few pieces of information a couple of weeks back in the Meanwhile section that we didn't have a chance to talk about. First of all, the JLA movie apparently is going to be made. Speculation is that the Superman, the first two movies are going to be made, so number 1 and number 2. The sequel's going to come out, and then the JLA movie is going to be made by David Goyer. Mm-hmm. And
Written by
David Goyer. And apparently he's writing the script currently. What do you think?
Well, do you know, we're going to go see Superman tonight, and I think, after looking at some of the preview snippets and the trailers, it does look pretty cool.
Right.
Looks quite nice and, I hate to say it, dark.
Yes.
Looks a bit more of a up-to-date version of Superman.
Right.
A bit more sort of cyber-technical.
Did you think he looks a little, I'm going to say this, Earth 1, Straczynski?
No.
You don't think so?
No, he looks younger, must admit. You could probably say, yeah, I think Earth 1's more
that
small.
His suit, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the texture of the material, but it reminds me of Straczynski's Earth 1 suit.
I see that. I do say that, but I think it's going to be a complete different take.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I hope so anyway, because if it does, then
if it takes off, yeah,
and we're in for a nice treat.
But someone mentioned this last week, and thank you for putting your comment below. And if you're not putting comments below, why not? You're going to get a response. So have a chat with us. Tell us what you think. We want to know. But someone put their comments last week, and I'll put your name up here, about having that JLA movie and getting excited for it. And I asked them an important question, which I ask you now. Do you think there's a void, a place for a JLA movie in the market when the Avengers is already there? Or do you think it's just going to add to a saturation of comic book movie market?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say the more the merrier.
Right.
I really do think so. I think the more we get comics, and let's face it, they are mainstream now. Comic books per se are not mainstream, because this is not a mainstream shop.
But the movies.
Right. Let's get them out there. Let's get these ideas out there. Let's get those fans into comic shops.
Yeah.
I mean, if a local comic shop's not doing a deal with their local cinema about getting flyers there, doing promotions, and we're actually taking 2 tables, our local Cineworld,
right?
We can sell there, and we can display stuff. We can show people what comics all about, and that's what it's all about.
I see. I don't get this, right? And obviously, if you're watching the show, the chances are you're a big comic book reader and a big comic book fan. We hope, yeah. But if you're just seeing the show randomly, right, and you just happen to pop on the show and you notice that we're talking about comic books, why are you not reading comic books, right? I'd love you to leave your comments in the comment section below, because as far as I'm concerned, when I read my first comic book, it was like discovering Michael Jackson for the first time, or the Beatles, or great music. And then all of a sudden, the world opens up, because we've got the Picassos of art really doing the most incredible stuff in the comic books. We've got the modern day Shakespeare's writing this stuff, right? Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son, is writing Lock and Key. This book is phenomenal. Even Stephen King himself is writing comic books with Scott Snyder, who, if he was writing normal books, would be otherwise world-renowned by now. Yeah. And he is world-renowned, but in the comic book world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't get why people aren't reading it. And I put this out there, and I got one response, not just recently actually, it was just a private conversation I was having, and one of the responses I had was the price.
But why? I mean, someone would go and buy...
He said it's expensive.
Packet of cigarettes. What are they now? £8, £10 a packet of cigarettes? Yeah. So, I mean, that to me is a waste of money.
No excuses. I mean, it's £4, isn't it, really?
It's £2.95, £2.25.
Oh, £2.25, okay.
And you get half an hour's worth of entertainment, and you've got something for life.
Marvel and I thought one was like $3.99, and the other one's, it's dollars, isn't it? $3.99, and the other one's $2.99.
But we'll come on to that in a little while, because DC are doing something in August, which we reckon is going to change their prices from $2.99 to $3.99, and they're going to keep them the same price.
Really?
This is what's been speculated on as well, but we'll get onto that probably this week.
Okay.
And we've got plenty of time to talk about it, but it's the 3D cover thing that DC have come up with, which is quite exciting.
Right.
But I reckon they're going to stick their price out.
Yeah, we'll talk about these more different types of variant covers coming up again soon. But let's move on. Gary Frederick. Frederick. I think Gary Frederick, who was the co-creator of Ghost Rider, who had been told to stop drawing Ghost Rider and claiming creator rights.
Well, he was doing things like prints at the cons and selling them for $20.
And he was selling stuff at the cons of Ghost Rider, and Marvel told him to stop.
They did.
And he's contested it in court.
And he's
kind of won.
Yeah.
A little bit, anyway, the first battle, if you like.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to get his real day in court, because the courts actually said that his original contract was ambiguous and that the decision needs to go to the High Court, which is crazy. I mean, that's like taking on, Disney and telling and being told that you have to go to court with this guy because you actually may still be have rights, not just about being co-creator, but to Ghost Rider, which would mean that all the movies and the monetary finance that they've gained over the years from the character, he'd be owed. I mean, that's some crazy stuff.
And let's face it, I mean, contracts over the last 20, 30, 40 years have become watertight.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it's work for hire. So you work for us, you come up with a new creation.
We own it.
Then Marvel own it.
Which
I can see, because Marvel people put the money into it, they pay the wages, they pay the salaries.
Yeah.
But I still think artists should get a little snippet of something.
Yeah. I
I'm sure they do. I mean, I know of artists that get a royalty check from DC every year for reprints of their graphic novels.
For sure, yeah.
And they get a lot of money.
Well, Dave Gibbons is probably getting paid a few.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steve Dillon.
Dillon. Oh yeah.
Garth Ennis, obviously, he's got more money coming in for reprint stuff than he has coming.
And the boys, I'm sure now that's finished, that he's going to be getting a long time.
And they should. Yeah. That's the thing. When you put something in print with these guys, you should be given royalties for your work.
But you don't own them.
Well, that's up to the individual. Yeah. I mean, without these publishing companies,
that's why you'd go
would they be as successful as would they be on their own?
No, they wouldn't. But that's why you go to companies like Image. If you want to own the stuff, you go to the third biggest publisher now, which, I mean, just shows you how amazing Image have done, really. They're a phenomenal company. And if you want to own your stuff, you'd go to Image, you'd go to Top Cow, you'd go to Dynamite, you'd go to these other companies.
Or you do it the Mark Miller way, which you showed a video on last one.
Yes, that's right.
Because Mark Miller's putting IPs out there, and he come up with the best thing. Obviously, he's done his time with Marvel, he's done his time with DC, he's got his name out there, and now everything he owns, with maybe a percentage going to the publishers. But and he was right. His movies are $100 million budget.
It's crazy
on advertisements for his comics,
and he's making money hand over fist for it, and it's all from his conception, and that's brilliant.
And that's the way it should be.
But he does have a lot of big names on there. He's a big name himself now. He made his name working for the big companies. Superman Red Sun, and these Wolverine titles that he's pulled out. They're brilliant.
He's done his graft. He's done his time.
Ultimate. He's grafted his time, and now he can just put something out there that he's made, and he can make his money. And I think that a lot of people, if you can follow that method of how to
it's the perfect method for any creator to do.
Nova, in number 8. There's a cover that we put in a couple of weeks ago, meanwhile, and it had the Thanos Nova meetup, which is really exciting. The cosmic scene is finally, on its way. Nova number 8, Infinity, looks awesome.
It looks good. It looks really good. And we've got the prelude to Infinity comes out next week, which is Avengers 14.
Right.
So I think this is going to be rather big. The nice free comic book day giveaway from Marvel, that was great. Well done, Marvel. So one of the original stories that was in there, no reprint as well.
Yeah,
I think we're going to reprint.
Because DC reprinted the Superman story.
They did.
Yeah, and we weren't too impressed with that, were we? No.
If they had done it now, for Superman the movie, and we'll get onto their freebie they've given away this week, that'd be a great idea.
Why didn't they just? I don't really understand that. They've given a freebie, and we might as well pull that out now because it's the relevant time. They've given, DC have given a freebie here, and it's a Superman All-Star Superman special, right? Grant Morrison, I assume, yes.
Yes. Frank quietly.
And it kind of makes sense because obviously the movie's come out and it's a way to get people in.
Of course it is.
Into the cinema and into comics at the same time.
And DC matched your orders with Superman Unchained with this. So if you ordered 1,000 copies, you got 1,000 free copies of this.
Right.
Which is perfect. What a great idea.
Was it to give to the people that are actually buying Unchained then?
No, because we've been giving out to people who...
Because they don't need it, do they?
They don't. The people
who are buying Unchained, the people that have heard about Unchained are the comic readers anyway.
Exactly.
These are the for people, and they've probably read All-Star Superman. These are for the people that haven't read All-Star Superman.
But we're going to give these away a bit at cinema this Saturday.
Superb.
So it'd be out to kids. Here, guys, have a read of this. This is really
good
cool.
Good work, DC. Good work.
Yeah,
That's
good timing.
And that's what That's what should be happening. That's what should be happening.
Exactly.
Bringing them into the industry.
Hey, we digress again. We're talking about influencer.
I know.
We do this.
Yeah. But look, free comic. Try and pick it up from your local shop if you're lucky.
No, you should be getting free.
Yeah.
Cool.
Superman Unchained. So it's come out this week.
Yeah, done very well.
And it seems to be selling quite well.
It's doing really well.
But it's kind of weird. There seems to be like this A4, is it? A3? I mean,
A3, bit bigger than A3.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. Can't be bigger than A3, can it?
It's a poster they've stuck into it.
It can't be bigger than A3. It's bigger than A4, smaller than A3.
I think it's.
Have we got one? Where is it? Let's pick one out.
Well, it means we've got to open up and rip it.
What? Can't we open it up without ripping it?
Of course we can. But they've got glue on it.
Have they?
Yeah. So, which is a real silly idea. I mean, they should just put it in there and there we go. There's a little bit.
Well, then that's something to talk about. It's got glue in there, so once you've touched it.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So it looks like someone's put some snot in it.
It's a little bit of snot.
Great. There we go.
I mean, it's a strange thing to put in the comic, and just to point out, you can't actually read the comic without opening it up. Right? There we go. You can't actually read the comic without opening it up because
on the other
side, it's part of the comic and it's text. I don't know if I can see that. Am I showing that well? Newbell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would describe that as somewhere between A4 and A3, and that's quite an interesting thing to do in a comic book, I think.
Yeah.
Is it unnecessary? Is it unnecessary?
It's it's nice the artwork that size, but I'd rather have a complete comic book without these. I mean, the nasty thing about it is it's got this bit of white paper stuck in it.
Yeah, that's it. I wasn't impressed with that. And normally it opens out this way.
You got this bit of paper in here as well. But beside the point, it's a great book.
Right.
It's beautifully drawn, beautifully written by Scott Schneider, who's the man at the moment again.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 3-4 books out this week. He's got The American Vampire, Superman Unchained, Batman. Is there anything else?
No.
No?
What, Scott Snyder?
Yeah.
Batman Zero Year?
Oh, was it Year Zero? Year
Zero?
So 3 books.
3 books.
And they're all pretty good. All quality stuff.
Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
So, and Zach's going to be reviewing that for us.
He will be.
Yes.
In next issue. So
check that out. But what I noticed on the back as well, Midtown.
Yay!
On the back.
Well, they're just the biggest shop in America.
Nice one, Midtown. But look, I'm not a massive fan of that. I'm afraid. I think that if it opened up sideways, which has happened in the Batman.
Yep.
And I really like that.
That's perfect.
But when they open it up into out of the comic structure,
it's another gimmick. Hasn't worked. But it hasn't spoilt the comic. It's not. You're not going, oh my god, that was a waste of money. I didn't like it. There's nothing wow about it. There's no wow factor. It's a comic book.
All right.
That's it.
Well, they tried. Good. Props for trying. Credit for trying. But I don't think that worked. I'm afraid. That's my opinion.
Never mind.
We've got a bit of a new section for the end of this show this week. It's called Big Sellers.
Big sellers.
What
we're selling in the shop, which is big.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll
do the holding and you can do the talking.
I can hold them.
All right. Fine.
We're going to start.
I was going to hold them up here for you.
That's fine. We're going to start off with this. This is actually
what about cover your face?
Oh, lovely.
Because people like to see you.
It sold more than Superman.
This is the True Lies of the Fabulous Killjoys.
Written by Gerard Way, who wrote the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And it's been flying out. We haven't read it yet. I think Zach's read it.
Zach's going to review it.
Oh my god, this is really weird. But
Zach's going to review it for us.
Yeah, think so.
Check out next week.
Zach?
Yeah.
He says yeah.
Yes. So next week, Zach. Yeah.
Sales-wise, this has been flying out.
Okay.
As many as Superman, if not more.
Umbrella Academies was a big seller.
It was massive. Yeah, very big.
So if you like the Umbrella Academies, check it out. Let us know what you think.
Next one.
Yep.
We're going to go for Batman.
0 Year.
Yeah. It's the start of a big event, which they're saying is going to last a whole year long.
Is it the third arc? Would you call it the third story arc now?
Yeah, I think so. We've had Death of Family, we've had Court of Owls, Night of Owls, City of Owls. I think, it's the third
big story arc by Scott
Snyder.
I
have a funny feeling this is Scott Snyder's swan song. I think he's going to do this for a whole year and then obviously pass it over to somebody else. I think he's setting things up with Batman.
Yeah.
With its year 0, with a new origin.
Yeah.
A new beginning. And I think he's going to go, right, I've done my work. I've left it all up to you guys. Here we are. Off you go.
Yeah.
And I think it's his swan song.
Okay.
Bit of shame it does.
I don't see Scott moving from Batman for some years to come.
We'll put a bet on it.
Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, Jeff Johns didn't leave for quite a long time.
That's very true.
When DC likes a writer, they pay them the money to stay on board.
They certainly do.
So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Okay, next one.
What is that?
This is Bubblegum.
Come on, I've got to show them.
Right,
Bubblegum.
this is $1. And this is one of the best books we've had in this week.
Really?
75p. This is great stuff.
75p. How can they print for 75p?
Well, just get people on board. It's Aspen's 10-year anniversary, so they're doing 10 for 10.
Right.
So they're launching 10 new books for $1 each.
Right.
$10.
So it's just trying to get it to promo.
Exactly.
Trying to get people on.
Book. I mean, look at the artwork inside. It is absolutely stunning. This blows away some of the Marvel and DC stuff that's out this week, and it's
kind of got a Joe Mad look to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you like Joe Mad, you've got to pick this up.
So any Joe Mad lovers, this seems to be the book for you.
And drawn by a British guy.
Oh really?
Yeah, Mike Bowden.
Okay, interesting.
So, very cool.
Interesting.
Then we're going to go. I think we're going to have to say Superman Unchained. It's a big book. It's selling absolutely nutty numbers, but I think there's better stuff out there at the moment.
Yeah.
I think we've seen Superman. I liked it. I mean, the art was great. It's Jim Lee's.
I haven't read it yet.
Work.
I'm going to be reading
better
it.
Than Justice League. It's actually really nicely polished.
Yeah.
But doesn't excite me anymore.
Scott Snyder and Jim Lee. You're not going to get bigger names than that though. So.
Not at all. But big seller.
Right.
Really cool. And then we're going to go Savage Wolverine.
Ah.
There we go. Joe Mad is back.
Joe Mad is back.
The man. And it's
what happened to Frank Cho, by the way? Frank Cho.
Told you.
Yeah, yeah, you did. This
5 issues.
This isn't I told you so moment. Yeah. He did say that Frank Cho would not be able to match the.
I love Cho's work.
The art deadlines. I think that was the point.
But I love this more.
But Joe Mad. I mean, you can't. Oh my god.
This shows some. Oh, you've got to buy this. It's so good. I mean, look.
Oh my god.
Lovely stuff.
Oh, I'll try and put something up at front if I can. But that is just absolutely gorgeous. Joe Mad is brilliant.
There we
and
go.
last but not least,
Guardians of the Galaxy. It's late by a good 3 weeks.
Do you know what? That cover is awesome.
It's wicked. Rocket Raccoon.
And it's Bendis, so you can't go wrong, really.
Lovely art inside.
And
well.
a McNiven really on the art.
McNiven's great.
Yeah.
But Pichelli's taking over on issue 4. Quote me if I'm wrong, Zach.
No.
Yeah, it's 4, and I think she's got a better style that suits Guardians, more polished.
And she was on Spider-Man,
which is stunning. The Ultimate Spider-Man stuff is absolutely beautiful.
So if you like to work on Ultimate Spider-Man, which was nearly universal pretty much because I loved it,
yeah,
I haven't met someone who didn't like it. So
very cool.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for watching issue 36. We'll be back next week with Zach, so stay tuned next week for that. Yeah, I'll see you again for issue 37. Ta-ta for now.